Hello children, it is me, McGrouch, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. See, if there's one thing I cannot stand, it is specific pieces of terrain. I can't stand them. I especially can't stand on them. I hate the idea of anything, enemy or ally, being allowed to persist on such a parcel. If only there was some stratagem I could use to effectively make some parts of the map totally unplayable for me, my enemies, and especially my fellow Helldivers. Luckily, we have the mine stratagems, a group of colonies that deploy mines, each having their own unique Pokemon type. Some are hot, some are stinky, some are pokey, but they are all of them mine. Player deployable mines all work in roughly the same way. You throw down a beacon, a hell pod drops, it Beyblades for a second, and now it's done. The minefield is deployed. But it's not armed yet. For whatever reason, there is a brief delay between the deploying of the mines and the actual arming of the mines. This is an interval I like to call annoying. It's not enough that I have to wait for the damn thing to deploy, I also have to wait till it feels like doing its job. As for how these mines perform as mines, there are a few issues. The core job of a mine is a simple one. Get stepped on and explode. Less simple, more simpish, I suppose, but that is neither here nor there. What is these landmines. They're everywhere, and yet enemies can somehow find a way to perfectly pick their way through this minefield completely on accident. Even when they step on one of these mines, that doesn't mean it's gonna go off. The hitboxes on these things are just goofy. Generally speaking, mines won't go off when the enemy is on it. It goes off when the enemy is just in front of it. But if they're so inconsistent, why take mines at all? Because they're consistent enough. They clear enough of a horde to make it worthwhile taking, and unlike other stratagems, they stick around. Very beneficial for area denial over time, but less beneficial if you forgot where you put them. Now that we know a little bit more about our basic mines, let's discuss the varietals you can take on your next dive. First is the anti-personnel mine. Something steps on this, and it explodes. That is all it does. This is as basic as landmines get. It essentially plants dozens of little impact grenades in a given area. Good for dealing with medium enemies and trash, but it does absolutely nothing to armor. This is the agnostic option among the landmines. Take this when it's a defense mission and you don't know what to take as your last strat. It's not specialized in any one thing, and for that reason you will find it to be an effective alternative to spamming grenades. Then we have the incendiary mines, which explode with passion and leave behind passionate plasma in the form of fire that sticks around for a little bit and does okay damage. The incendiary, like the anti-personnel mine before it, is okay, but I feel as though it's a half measure. It lacks the immediacy seen in the anti-personnel mines and the staying power of the gas mines, which operate much the same as the other mines, but where the incendiary leaves fire and the anti-personnel leaves limbs, the gas instead leaves gas. This gas, from what I can tell, does less damage to enemies than fire, but it does stick around a bit longer, meaning more area denial. Of the three, I would say that gas mines are my favorite for dealing with small to medium enemies, especially small enemies. All I am looking for in a minefield is the assurance that I can turn my back to a given area, and the gas mine does that better than the other two because it can do the job the longest. The final type of mine you can take as a stratagem is the anti-tank mine. It works like any other mine, but it won't trigger on anything smaller than a large enemy, unless you shoot it. When these do go off, their level 5 armor pen means that they will kill almost anything instantly, with the exception of very tall enemies. Tall enemies need to walk over several mines to be brought down because their critical bits are very far from the original blast. Lucky for us, we have several mines, a veritable field of them, but even with all those mines, it can still be a bit of a struggle to get a large enemy to walk over an AT mine. They tend to kind of Jacques Clouseau past every single mine in the area. The worst offender for this? Bile Titans. Their foot hitbox is just so small and pointy. For this reason, I would say anti-tank mines are best used against enemies that have predictable paths of travel, i.e. chargers and hulks. Most other large enemies have paths of movement that are very difficult to predict. I mean, you try kiting an impaler. Shit's impossible. Chargers and hulks move in a straight line at you, and just one mine will fully kill them. You only really need to be fighting two of such an enemy to feel like you have gotten your money's worth out of the anti-tank mine. And given the fact that you can actually walk over these mines, kiting with this minefield is a breeze. Of course, if you want to use these mines against an enemy that's a bit smaller, you can always just shoot the mines. But remember, they can too. That's it for the mines that you can bring. But there are still two mines we haven't talked about. These are the mines belonging to the bugs and the bots. The bot mines are big, red, and deadly. Stepping on one is to be avoided at all costs. You still will though. Eventually the glowing red bits on the ground get confused in your head with the glowing red bits that are just everywhere else, and then boom. The bug mine just slows you down and does a little bit of damage, like an almost imperceptible amount of damage. Generally speaking, I just ignore them. Walk over them or don't. Either way, you'll probably be fine. With all that out of the way, let's discuss the best way to actually play with mines. I don't know. So I decided to ask my direct superior what he thought.
Alright, now that this clueless dumpster diver is finished yapping, let me tell you all about how to actually use mines in the field. Who the hell puts this beauty of a gun in D tier anyway? Communist sympathizers, that's who. Anyhow, here's how you use mines. You got 4 flavors of mines. Anti-personnel for blasting freedom haters to pieces, incendiary for setting them on fire, gas for choking the bad opinions out of them, and anti-tank for extra spiciness. All of these are useful, but the most reliable flavor of mine is going to be the gas mines. My commandos and I were able to take on a level 10 Bilespewer Predator strain map without firing a weapon, and the only thing that made that possible was gas mines paired up with Tesla towers and rocket sentries. Sure, I spent the lives of 27 of my best Helldivers to do it, but their sacrifice is your gain. Your field of corpse flowers is going to further muddle the minds of the enemies of humanity, making them smack into each other while your Tesla towers and sentries and personal firepower puts them back in the ground. This works great on bots too. Just sub out the Tesla tower for the autocannon sentry if the smell of burning oil is what gets you up in the morning. Speaking of scrapping communists, if one minefield ain't enough for you, then don't worry, Helldiver, I got you covered. If you fantasized about blowing up an entire football field all at once, then all you need is 3 flavors of mines. Just make sure that AT is one of them. And the squad eraser, aka the airburst launcher. Wait for a bot drop to get called in, plant your freedom seeds and wait. Once the bots have all dropped, fire that sucker off and enjoy the loss of frame rate as your liberty seeds bloom into a shining beacon of freedom. Alright, I got squids to kill. Where's that cookout hater at?
Couldn't have put it better myself, which is why I didn't try to. Now, mines excel in area denial, meaning they deny a given area to the enemy. And with the exception of the AT mines, the area is denied to you as well. It's like locking your keys in the car at Walmart out of spite. I may not be getting home, but motherfucker, neither are you. Keeping track of where you put your mines is important for keeping yourself alive. Mines are best used in choke points like defense mission gates and narrow canyons. But make sure the area that you plant the mines in actually has enough flat space for them to be properly dispersed. If they hit a wall, they are apt to clump up. This creates an issue of chain triggering, wherein one mine going off triggers all the other ones clumped around it. This is less than ideal, as it means that you are wasting more mines than are necessary, and you are possibly killing yourself or a teammate. But I see this chain triggering as less of a shortcoming and more of an asset, as by bringing all 4 mine strats at the same time, I am able to make this my domain expansion. Quadrafield! Is it a good use of mines? Absolutely not, but dear God, is it good at killing shit? Just throw down the first mine strat, and then the next mine strat, and then the next mine strat, and then the next mine strat. Be sure you don't throw them all on top of one another, because if you do that, the strat will get destroyed before it can fully deploy. Once all 4 minefields are set, leave. Believe me, you don't want to be anywhere near this shit when it goes off. It won't just kill you, it'll take your graphics card down with you. The engine simply wasn't meant to handle this much ordnance. Anyway, those are the mines. They are a set of stratagems that make up for their lack of mobility by being just super fun to use. I like them. Give them a try the next time you drop in. Bye.
Subscribe to me, 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 subscribe to me.